Welcome to this introduction of Power BI and how we're doing some academic analysis of our student progress. This is one of the reports that we have written that is using some real data, and we've removed some of the names and identifiable details from it. This is designed to be an overview of students at a pretty high level, giving an academic snapshot of what the requirements are that you can see here, and we've deliberately tried to use these speedo dials with threshold indicators to give an indicator of the key progress that students need to meet. So on the left, a dean who might have academic oversight of the Year 11 cohort could see this, select a student, and immediately we get an indication of their achieved results, merits, excellences. Key part of the New Zealand curriculum is literacy and numeracy, where they require 10 credits at each level. So we've been able to build these speedo graphs with an indicator. Visually, 10 credits required, the student has 50, and numeracy they need 10 and the student has 29. Now, along the bottom, level 1, which is at year 11, they require 80 credits, and the student's sitting right on it. And towards level 2, she has 23 credits towards the 80 that are required. And by selecting any student, obviously all of the data changes contextually straight away. We also track students towards year 13 and university entrance, and this is another similar sort of one, although down the bottom we can see they require 3 subjects with 14 credits or more. So this is the indicator that at this stage this student has achieved 1 subject with 14 credits, and we can see this in the bar chart up the top here. The subject of Japanese has 14 credits. So again, we find by visually putting in the threshold that they're working towards, it's much easier to interpret what's required when having a conversation with a student or a parent. The literacy and numeracy ones exist here as well. Here we're getting into forecasting, and this enables us to give some indication to students whether they're likely to receive an endorsement. And so again, we use a text box with some of the explanation of what's required, and we can filter by an individual year. So this student's in level 3 or year 13 right now, and we can see that this merit endorsement requires 50 credits or more at a merit or an excellence level. So what we have is credits that are already banked. So the student has 38 credits that they've achieved through internal assessment, and then they have through practice exams an indicative grade of 21 merit credits and 18 excellence credits. So if this student performed in the external exams to the same or better that they performed in the practice exams, they would receive a merit endorsement. And in fact, we can see they're likely to receive an excellence endorsement as well. And the orange dot simply indicates, are they likely to get that? And this is across all subjects. We could go back to their previous year, 2014, and see that they comfortably got a merit endorsement and an excellence endorsement. So our forecasting model would be validated there. At an individual subject level, the same thing applies. So if we look at the data for 2015, we can see here that they have a threshold of 14 credits in an individual subject, and at a merit endorsement they're right on track to receive that for food technology and science, and in fact an excellence credit for that as well. This is a indication or a copy of the NZQA report that students would see if they logged into NZQA. We've mirrored it very closely, and if we look at the same student we were looking at previously, we can see this first initial horizontal column shows us their total number of credits at level 1, 2 and 3 with no distinction. This is then broken down by achievement standard or unit standard, followed by internal or external assessment credits, and then finally by result. And so this is quite a useful way of showing how the contextual changes work. So if I wanted to look at level 2 and find out what the actual standards were that this student achieved a merit in, everything changes, and I can see in the breakdown below what subject, what the standard number was, when it was achieved, and the result, which here is a merit. And so a really useful way of being able to directly drill down into detail. If I want to see how a student performed in the external results as opposed to internal at level 2, I can see here that there's excellences and merit grades showing up as well.